It's time to upgrade your computer audio. Let's check these speakers out. Dave Taylor here, and if you're like me, you might have gotten used to audio coming out of small speakers or having to wear headphones or earbuds to enjoy any audio, any music, any game soundtrack, any TV or streaming audio from your computer. But it doesn't have to be so. That's what I'm checking out today. These are the Atom Audio D3V active desktop speakers, and they are just ridiculous. Let me just start by playing some music. And remember, they're pointing away from me, but we're gonna play this and you're gonna hear, right? And now let's turn up the volume a little bit. They get really loud and they have beautiful sound. I mean, there's a lot of sound going on there. Let's just slow that down a little bit, and I'm going to pause it because I want to be able to talk at the same time. But these are active desktop speakers, so this one is actually plugged into the wall, and then there's a wire going from this to this one. And so the idea is that this is the one you're going to use for all your controls, and you can see on the picture on the back it has a bunch of switches and a bunch of inputs and stuff, so it's a pretty complicated speaker. Obviously on the front it also has a little feedback light, and it has a 3.5 millimeter jack, so if you want to plug in headphones or earbuds because it's 11:30 at night and these are a little loud for your neighbors. And it has that volume, and on the other speaker, the right-hand speaker, there's really nothing. So the intention of this is that everything you do, you'll do on this speaker. And it's a really logical design. Now, each speaker features a 1.5-inch D-Art ribbon tweeter and a 3.5-inch woofer, so you're getting that high frequency and low frequency, pretty darn low frequency. And on the sides, you can see that, it has two 3.5-inch passive radiators, one on each side. And the intention of those is that there's a lot of bass frequency inside the speaker, and those help it sort of get out, not just from the front, but from the sides. So it gives you a much bigger sound stage, a much more enveloping sound, which is really fun actually. Together we're looking at 80 watts of sound. So back in the day when people had hi-fi and they were worried about how many watts were your speakers and everything, 80 watts was a room-filling volume, and these definitely deliver. The power switches, there's a DSP involved, a digital signal processor system. That volume knob is your best friend, because what I would highly recommend always is have your music source at maybe middle volume, and then let this do the work if you want to really crank it up super high. The headphone socket, I already talked about that. The stands are really cool. Let me just show you. So it comes with these little stands that give you that perfect 15-degree angle, but you don't have to do that. You can just have them pointing straight at you. I will tell you, you're going to get better sound if you put the stands on. It's super easy to work with, but let me point out, when you take the stand off, you also have access to that 3/8-inch microphone mount. So if you want to put these on stands or something, then that's the way to go. You could also ostensibly hang them from the ceiling or something, but I guess you'd end up with the words upside down. Probably not a big deal. And while we have this one sort of on display, let me show you the back. And so this, let me pull the cable out. So this is the cable that connects the two, and this is sort of a classic 4-pin cable. So there's, good shielding. There's not going to be any noise or anything, and it's really easy to work with. In terms of the length of the cable, well, this is about as long as it gets here. So if you want to have these speakers really far apart because you have an enormous desk, then you might have to fiddle with this, but really they're intended to be just like 3 or 4, maybe 5 feet apart, so really easy to work with. And while we're disassembling it, so I'll pull this cable off, we'll put it aside along with this speaker, And then the USB-C, one of the things I really like about this is it has a USB-C input. So it comes with its own USB-C to USB-C cable, but don't be surprised if when you pull it out of the box, you're looking at USB-C to USB-A, because it's a very sleek adapter. So pop that USB-A end off, and now you've got USB-C to USB-C, which is perfect for my MacBook Pro, because I'm on a Mac doesn't mean I don't want to have beautiful sound, whether it's music, whether it's the soundtrack to something I'm watching, whether it's the soundtrack to something I'm playing. So all of that really, really nice. So there's another wire here. Let me just put this one aside. And then finally, on the back of this one, you can see the only wire we have left is power. And so power is a fairly clumsy thing. So you have that transformer box, and then it's two pieces, and then the other piece just plugs into the wall. So it gives you a good length to be able to plug this into the wall, but these do require power. So you are going to have to think about that. But generally, the way people have their computers set up, or their computer space set up, you're going to have power. You probably have a power strip that has some sort of protection for over circuit or for surges or something, and just plug these right into that, and then plug it into your computer, and you are absolutely rocking. So lots and lots to like here. Now, the biggest issue with these that is worth knowing, especially if you want to have these plugged in and you leave your computer on all the time, is that they have an auto time off. So after 20 minutes of no music, they will automatically go into sleep mode. And then when they first get a signal, it will take a second or two for them to wake up and generate that sound. So what this means is if you have your computer and it's all plugged in and everything's running, but you're not actually running any software, and you get a notification, you might not get the sound of that notification, because what will happen is that bing, or whatever it is, will wake up the speakers, and then they'll wait for more audio that they can actually play. Then they won't get it. Then they'll go back to sleep. And then the next time a notification comes 2 hours later, you go through that same cycle. Now, nothing's going to be wrong, nothing's broken, but if you really want to have the audio on all the time, then that is something to know about. For me, I don't care at all, because when I'm using my computer and I want to listen to music, I generally just have the music on the whole time I'm working, and if I turn it off, I'm probably not going to go 20 minutes without some sound. And you know, these are pretty wild if you're on a Zoom call or something and the people at the other end suddenly sound like they're really important because they have so much bass. So really pretty fun. But I did want to let you know about that sleep timer issue, which has caused some people a little bit of heartburn. But overall, I think these are fantastic speakers. I think that the sound is just fantastic. I mean, it is blow you out of your room level sound, and there's a lot of bass. There's not a lot of mid-range, but that's something you can adjust with the EQ in your software on your computer. And I think I would probably fine-tune that a little bit, particularly for louder volumes. But that's all user adjustable. And of course, on the back of the left-hand speaker, let's look again at those switches, because there's a couple of different ways that you can change settings to try to get exactly the kind of sound you like. And that's great to have all those options, and that's really adjusting the digital signal processor that's built into the speaker system. So that's pretty much everything. Like I said, it comes with that adapter for the USB-C. It has a quick start guide. It has a guide that explains all of the reasons you shouldn't listen to it so loud that your head will start to like vibrate. Generally a bad idea, no big surprise. And Atom Audio, if you haven't heard of them, is a great German audio engineering company. I don't know what it is about Germany, but they sure have a lot of companies that do really great audio gear. So that's everything. I really like these. These are going to end up on my desk so that I can enjoy the best possible sound whenever I'm using my computer. I am going to ask you to subscribe to my channel. Click or tap on that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon for notifications of my new content. and give me a thumbs up if you felt I earned it. I hope I did. Great. Well, these, hold this one up. These are the Adam Audio D3V active desktop speakers. They are 7.9 inches by 4.5 inches by 9.5 inches, and they're 6 pounds each. They're pretty heavy because there's a lot of magnets going on here. Okay, Adam Audio D3V active desktop speakers, black or white, $299.99 at Amazon.com. A little bit on the spendy side, but I'm telling you, you'll never buy other speakers because these sound so good. And I don't care if you're working in the closet or you're working in a really big space and you want to fill it up with music, these are going to cover all your needs. Highly impressed. That's what I got. Hope to catch you in my next video.